Tiff and Portia.
Stop standing out when you question our freedom. When they ask us what our rights are, they say, yeah, don't need them. What a mistake that is to say. We live in a land we ought to be free. It's not seeming that's how it is shaping to be. The Constitution is supposed to guide us. Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple of people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is their show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with the knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punishers abolish all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They are waging war on the side of God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They are fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need they get from each other. They have each other's like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no reproaching. You need to learn a thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our selection. CPS, we have your number. We're coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family, no more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough you'll be clicking your heels, cause you need to go to jail. All of us fathers will be chugging down an ale. The mothers will squeeze their young ones tight. The CPS workers are locked down for the night. They had a choice they didn't make. Now they spend their days in crates. They should know it's wrong to kidnap. So from all of us, this is your pay. There's a couple of people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is their show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punishers abolish all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. That's all we need to get on with this fight. The document that most people quote, barely read in light. Pick the parts that pertain to your case, show them the results and spit in their face. We are Tiff and the Punisher fighting together, displaying our unity with birds of a feather. If it's a million, that's great, but one is just the same. We'll bring these kids home and know every name. We will smoke every social worker in court, their heads down with no support. The country knows CPS is doing wrong. If they don't, then play them our song. We are Tiff and the Punisher. They are taking our kids every day, I shout 'em in and no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, goddammit. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
I'll open it like this. Hey, Tiff.
Hey.
Do you hear me? Hey, you're prolonged wondering what we were saying there. Hey, I just asked Lisa if she wanted to come in.
Yeah, I heard. Hold on, my dog's barking.
Oh, someone's at the door. Who is it? Who knows? Dog's going after the cat. Cat's going after the dog.
Cat.
Yep. Whatever the hell's going on over there. Well, boy, what an exciting day. Man, we got people checking out the website. I'm not even finished with it yet. Things just flooding. I almost have our new surprise done for everybody. They're going to like that very soon. You see the new logo I did for us for the surprise?
I do like that.
You like that? The TNP with the broken chains and the black?
Right.
It's good stuff.
Break them chains.
Yep. That's right. Elisa's a new one on YouTube, she says. She's going to have to guide her in, she says.
Did you send her the
Tammy,
link?
how are you? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the link right up for here, right here. So please, everybody, don't don't take advantage of this while we do this here. But Lisa, here you go. This is the link for the show right now. Click on that, and you'll pop in the back. And you can come in and tell us your story. If you don't want to, then avoid the link. But there you go. So what's up, Tiff? What do you got for news?
Well, not too much because I was working today.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I will tell everybody the funny
All right.
story that I told you. That I had to jump in the
Yes,
pool
let's hear it.
today because it was too damn hot. And when I went to dive in, my legs got caught. So as I'm going this way, the pool's pulling me back this way. It's a hot mess.
Was it a 10? You were ass over tea kettle. Did you ass over tea kettle?
I don't know, man. I just got stuck.
You were just stuck. You just got stuck. That's freaking funny as hell. That's funny.
So when I did it the second time, because I got hot again,
Oh, yes.
I said, I'm not getting stuck on the pool this time. So I put water on it first and then dove in, and then I went all the way across the pool.
You know, you're getting to be an age that you're not supposed to be doing those things, Tiff.
I know.
You don't want to throw a hip.
That's what my son told
You throw a hip, it's over.
Woo.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. I, too, am approaching that spot where my hip will not be any, it won't be good if I do that. But, hey, guess what? So Elisa made it in. She's backstage, so obviously she wasn't too, well, the word I was looking for, I don't remember what it was now. But she was not, she couldn't do this, is what I was saying. So she's in here.
Bring her on.
So let's see what she got to say.
Let's see what's going on.
All right. All right.
Hey.
Lisa, how are you? You made it in.
Yeah, I just clicked the link. It popped right up. That was so easy. You guys made it awesome for me.
Oh, perfect. Great. That's good to hear.
Can you hear me okay?
See, so not everything. Oh, yeah, we hear you great.
Good.
You sound great. So what do we got going on?
Well, you know, today was a board meeting and I chickened out. I couldn't do it. I got nervous because the county I'm in is really small. Everybody thinks they know me. And anyway, my girls have been gone for 5 months. No calls, no visits. They set me up with a...
Oh, no.
I'm sorry?
No calls, no visits?
Yeah, no calls, no visits. So originally what happened was my daughter at 17 years old, she's had some trouble with drinking and her best friend moved right down the road. And I have been trying hard to keep her on the right track. I got her involved in youth group and like doing all the good things, you know, taking her to the counselor, taking her to the doctor, getting different medications. She's a herbal route. She doesn't like they tried her on like Adderall and she didn't like it. So I was very proud of her for that. But she came home from school in February, back when it was snowing a lot, and they were in and out of school. She was off schedule, completely messed up on her schedule. But she jumped on my back because I took her phone and her computer and her Bluetooth. And I said, if you're not going to listen, you're not going to do what you're told, then I have no choice. No more arguing. We're not going to talk about it. You know what you need to do. So I'm going to take your stuff. And she jumped on my back and tried to take it from me. And I
literally jumped on your back.
On like a monkey on my back. And
how old is she?
Yeah.
17.
17.
So I continued 2 steps. I made it about 2 steps and we went to the floor. When we went to the floor, I had her Bluetooth speaker. It has a handle, kind of like a car door handle where you reach into it and pull. When we went to the floor, her thumb finger got jammed and it put a welt on her hand. She wouldn't calm down. She kept screaming at me and I said, if you don't calm down, I have no choice. She kept screaming, lock me up, put me in juvie, put me in juvie. And I said, Caitlin, this is not something you call the police on somebody for. What is going on with you?
Right.
we can solve this. So I said, if you don't calm down, I have no choice, though. I'm going to have no choice but to call the police because I don't know what else to do with you. And I tried to talk. At this point, I'm crying. I'm like, Caitlin, please talk to me. What is going on? She had just come home from the bus. And I said, okay, I'm going to leave. I had to leave, and her and I do a housekeeping job at a ski resort. And she makes like $35 an hour on that job. And I can't for the life of me understand why she doesn't want to go. But, I run my own business. I'm my own boss. And I thought she would take that lead perfectly, but she just doesn't want it. So, teenagers. But anyway, I said, I'm going to leave you home for a few minutes. When I come back, if you haven't calmed down, then I have no choice to do what you're telling me to do.
Right.
You're screaming at me, call the police on me, lock me up in juvie, because she's had a threat of that before. So I left for 2-3 minutes. I saw some strange men walking down my driveway, and I was like, well, that's weird. She kept telling me she had something to do, and I was like, let me turn around and see where those guys are going. And I turn around, and as I'm pulling into my driveway, an officer is behind me. And I'm like, what is he doing here? It didn't click that he was looking for those 2 men that were just walking down my driveway. But as I walk up on the porch, and she's still crying and mad at me, and she had busted my door to pieces, but he runs out in the yard and says she thought that I called the police on her. So she runs out in the yard and tells the cop, my mom called the police on me, my mom. And the cop's like, no, she didn't. I'm here to investigate. There's 2 men that someone called and reported. And I'm thinking, great. Someone else, my neighbor reported it. I didn't have to. But because she had told the cop that I did this, he had to stay and talk to her. So anyway, we stayed there for an hour. We talked. The cop determined that we both told the same story, that she jumped on my back, she fell, she jammed her thumb when she fell. So and it was swelling a little bit. So I called an ambulance, and I said, well, she needs to go get it checked out. And she wouldn't go with the ambulance. She wanted to go with her sister. So I called her sister, who's 25 and doesn't live at home. And she came here eventually within a few minutes to get her, even though she lives an hour away. And I'm like, how are you 5 minutes down the road? But anyway, she was. And after the cop talked to us, he's like, I think she just needs to break away from home for the night. Y'all cool down. Whatever she's upset about, we can work it out later. And I said, sure, send her to her sister's. I don't know what she's upset about, but I need to go clean this house. So me and the younger sister went to Wintergreen and cleaned the house, to the ski resort. So the next day, I get a call from CPS. And, so 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from the county investigator, and he's like, are you the mom where are you? I need to come see you. And I said, whoa, no, I've already talked to an officer. He's like, no, you threw your daughter against the wall and pulled her hair out and cut her knee and all this stuff. And I said, no, you've got the wrong person. That's a different call. That's not mine. And he said, let me call you back. So he called the officer that was here, and he said, oh, yeah, we got the correct story. He said, apparently your daughter went to the hospital and told the nurse at the hospital that you slung her against the wall and pulled her hair and drug her across the floor and all these things. And that's not at all what happened. And it's in the police report. Like, her report is there. And I've got 3 or 4 officers who heard her side of the story. They asked her multiple times to tell her side. And she told exactly what happened, that she jumped on my back, she fell off, and we both went to the floor. Anyway, when CPS got a hold of her, they added things to the report. They let her dictate everything. So I agreed to have the investigator come to my house and do an interview, because I wanted to fill them in on some past history with her about what's really going on. That this was not about this incident that happened that day. This is a lot more going on with her that we need to help with. So if they want to interview me, I'd like to do that. So they did, and the investigator of CPS calls me and says we need to have a family partnership meeting. Do you guys ever heard of that?
What's a family partnership meeting, Tiff?
It's almost like you're contracting with CPS. They call you in. They want to offer you all these services. They want to talk about a plan to keep her safe. Bullshit. That's what it is. They're telling you how to parent your child.
Right. So I get to the meeting, and so an hour before the meeting, the investigator calls me and she says, listen, I'm the investigator and I've determined that your daughter needs juvie. She is out of control. She needs to be drug tested. She's not going to run the show. And they've already had to tell her this twice in the past. They've already had to tell. She got picked up one time. She left the house at 3:00 in the morning with a 30-year-old man. This was when she was 15. And I had to send the police to look for her. They found her. And they had to tell her, look, you either go back home and listen to your mother or we're going to take you to juvie. And that's it. But for some reason, this time, I don't know. Well, there's a new director at DSS. So I feel like he's a little bit racist. He treated me really bad. So when I got to this meeting, the investigator had already told me, she's like, I don't know why, but the director wants to throw her in foster. And I said, what do you mean throw her? Is that the words he used? And she said, yeah. And she was crying. Like, I know this woman personally from our community, and she was very upset and crying. And she's like, I don't know what his problem is, but I'm just going to let you know that I'm the investigator and I'm the one that determines what goes on with these children. And I don't feel like that's what she needs. But he is saying that, and he's my boss. So at the end of the day, if he says that in the meeting, I'm just letting you know, go along with their plan, do what they say, take the counseling, they were going to offer her a mentor, take the mentor, agree to that. But if he says something about foster, that's when I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say, no, I don't think she needs to go there. So that's exactly what happened. He stood up and my girl started to talk about bogus things that didn't happen. I listened to them for a few minutes, but then later I started saying, whoa, if we're going to do this meeting and we're going to have an open book of how we are going to get along and how we're going to move forward, we're not going to lie. Because the number one rule that they had was, we're all going to tell the truth. We're not going to argue, respect, all of this. And my oldest daughter just came in there and bashed me. And after about 20 minutes of listening to it, I said, hold on. That's not true. So if we're going to do this, we're going to tell the truth. So let's tell the truth. And every time I said that, and she's messaging me now. Every time I would say that, the director would stand up, and he's like 6 foot something, way taller than me. This man stood over top of me, pointed fingers at me, called me names, degraded me in front of my children. Told me, no wonder your kids are out of control. Look at you. Look what kind of mother you are. And I'm like, hold on a minute here. I'm a damn good single mother.
He said that to you?
Oh, absolutely. And when I asked him, so when he stood up and he goes, he said, so I had a problem with, he said, one of the parts of the plan was that they were going to set my daughter up with counseling and a mentor, and that if there came a time that my daughter didn't want to ride with me and she felt uncomfortable, that he would take her. And I said, absolutely not. Will you be picking up my daughter, who's 17, from school and driving her alone in a car? I said, for your safety, you shouldn't do that. And they got mad at me because I said, can you find a woman? And I didn't. I have a little heated tone now, but I swear I did not give them any ammunition. I was as calm as could be, and I said, do you have a woman? Is there some reason a woman can't do that? I don't want to send, I'm a single mom. No offense to men, but I've raised my 3 girls in a house with no dads. We don't have men around, and I don't have a boyfriend. So we don't have men in the house. I felt uncomfortable putting her in a car with a man to go to a counseling session, So that was the only.
Hold on. I'm still stuck on the way he talked to you. And what did you say to this man? I just want to know what you said.
Well, so he started when I said I didn't want to put her in a car with that man, he got offended and he stood up over top of me and he's pointing at me down at me like this. And he's going, no wonder, look at, and I had a double ear infection. So I was really sick and I had lost my voice. And every time I talked, he accused me of hollering. And I said, listen, I don't know if you've ever lost your voice before, but I'm hoarse. And that's the only way I can get it out is to put a little force behind it. But I'm not yelling at you. He was sitting beside me so close at the board table. He was bumping elbows with me. And so I didn't say anything to spur that at all. All I did was not agree with the man driving her around.
So I got to tell you what I would have said, and I do this.
Jesus.
Do this. Hold on. Can you all say hi to him? Hi. Say hi.
Hi, buddy. What you doing?
Okay. Go with Papa.
Hi, cutie. What color is your shirt? Oh, he's gone.
I would have asked this man, and I do this to people already. When people talk to me sideways, I look at them. First, I look around and see who they're talking to.
Right, I did that, yeah.
And then I would have said, and who the fuck do you think you're talking to like that?
Well, okay, so I did. I looked around and I said, excuse me, why are you getting mad? I'm not mad here. What is the problem? And he said, well, if you're not going to come to this agreement, that means you're not going to sign the safety plan. Throw them in foster. And I said, throw them in foster? Yep, throw them in foster. And I said, hold on a minute. So my kids started crying. The investigator takes my kids and escorts them out the room, down the hall to another room. I got up when he started he was standing over top of me, pointing at me, and I felt the world start spinning. I felt everything was like, oh my God, I'm in a Lifetime movie. I'm in the Twilight Zone. And so I walked out the room and I said, you're gonna not take I thought they were taking my kids out the back door and I'd never see them again. I thought this was like real kidnapping. I'd never met this man. He's a new director. He's only been there a year. The other director was a woman and she had been there for 35 years and retired. But I walked down the hallway because they took my youngest, 11 years old. So I said, I'm going down the hallway. They said, well, throw him in foster. And if you want to keep questioning it, we'll include your 11-year-old too. And I said, whoa, I'm going to the room. They said, you can't go back there. I said, stop me. You can't do this to me. So I walked down the hallway. I opened the door. My youngest, 11 years old, was crying, sitting in a chair. I squatted down to her level, wrapped my arms around her, and put my head to her ear and whispered, honey, I don't know what's going on with your sister right now, because my youngest was like mad at her sister and on the same page with me and ready to defend me and ready to tell the truth about what happened. And they got a hold of her. They pulled her away from me. And that's when I lost complete connection with her. So I leaned down and I'm hugging her, telling her, Ava, they're telling me that they're going to take you away from me. And my daughter's heavily medicated. She has a chronic illness that she needs lots of medication for. And I whispered to her, I said, I don't know what they're getting ready to do. I just want you to know I love you. And if you get taken, I will bring your clothes. I will bring your medicine, but I'm trying to fight for that not to happen. She's shaking by this point. And I said, I love you. This is killing me, y'all. We've got to work this out. This man was standing so close behind me that his knee was touching my rear when I stood up. When he heard me say, "This is killing me," he threw both hands in the air, ripped the papers and threw them in the air in half, yelled to the facilitator and said, "That's it. She said she was going to kill herself in front of her kids. Throw them in foster. That's it. That's it." And I turned around and I said, "Excuse me?" And I pulled my phone out of my back pocket and I said, "Bullshit. I have it recorded right here." No, the hell I didn't. I said, "Where's your recording?" He looks at me and he goes, "Oh, unfortunately, we don't have any back here." I said, "You better find one real quick," because I did not say that. So we're walking down the hallway and I said, "Why do you want to throw my kids in foster? That is not relevant. And do you know what happens to kids in foster? I'm their parent. I love my kids. Nobody's going to protect my kids like I will." He turned around, looked at, I said, "Kids get SA'd and all." I said the words. He's in front of me. He turns around and looks at me and goes, "Well, if it happens, it happens." I'm telling you what.
Jail. I'm telling you right now.
Fire.
I went to jail.
I couldn't because they don't have a dad and they don't have any family. The rage came through me. I'm telling you. But I had to keep. Oh, they called the police on me, and I didn't do anything. Huh?
Yeah, have you made a complaint towards this guy? Obviously, hopefully.
I've called the Children's Ombudsman office. I've been to 3 board meetings, but you only get 3 minutes to speak. I've contacted the governor's office. They keep telling me they're investigating it. One of the women said, "Oh, she investigated it and there's no problem." And I said, "You're not putting the pieces together like I have here. I have a timeline and it is all making sense." My oldest daughter tried to get pregnant and they were getting ready to lose their house. So she applied for a government grant or something. And they told her that she didn't qualify because if she had another child, she would qualify. Shortly after that, she has a miscarriage. And then a week later, she comes to the rescue of my 17-year-old. But for some reason, it was snowing the middle of February. I don't even remember those storms that we got, but it was bad. Schools were out for weeks. For some reason, my daughter, who doesn't have 4-wheel drive, was 5 minutes from my house the day this happened. When I called her and I said, "Caitlin's asking for you. Can you come?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes." And I said, "You'll be here in 5 minutes? You live an hour away. Why are you 5 minutes?" I said, "That's aside from the fact, we'll figure that out later." But I thought it was weird. But as the 5 months have gone by, families telling me how messed up it is that what she's doing for money. They're giving her, so she's a foster mom now. They're giving her $4,000 a month to keep my children. And I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick. Like nobody is defending me. The lawyer they gave me was on their side. She did not defend me at all. She came to court, and after the 4th, so we've been through the 4 of the 5, the adjudication, the review. Every court, they tell me, "Well, if you do this, they'll come home. If you do," and they haven't. They went into court and lied. They wanted me to take a drug test, and I knew I'd pass it. I said, "Give me the cup. Let's get it. Give it to me right now." And so I went in there just as confident, and the cup comes back dirty for 5 things. Meth, oxycodone. Oh man, I'm the head from hell.
Yes,
So it wasn't really. They lied to the judge. So the next day, I said, "Hell no." This woman tried to put my urine cup in her purse and told me she threw it away. And I said, "Bitch, I've had my eyes on you the whole time. You ain't walked to no trash can. Give me the cup. It's in your purse. You're not walking out here with my DNA in that cup." And I had to get an officer to get it from her in the middle of the courtroom. So then I said, that's it. You're going to give me a hair follicle. You're going to give me a second test. They wouldn't do that. I said, set the hair follicle test up right now. I'll go right now. They wouldn't do it. They made me wait till the next day. Well, the next day I went and did it. 7 days back, clean as a whistle. And I took that to
Of
court
course.
and I said, well, y'all took my kids based on a dirty drug test. But now that you had a hair follicle that goes back 90 days and it's clean, now what? And all they keep telling me is it's done and over. We had the adjudication already. It's already done. The papers are signed. There's nothing you can do. You need to understand that you don't have custody. You don't get to call the shots.
Did you
And the
appeal
Wow.
that?
judge, it's like the judge is in on it.
Did
No,
you
he is
appeal
on it.
that?
Did I what?
Did you appeal that?
Well, so the lawyer that was representing me said she was at the first one. She didn't. I found out. At the second one, I go in thinking that I needed her to subpoena the officer because the officer was backing me up. I had 3 officers and the county investigator backing me up saying, your child is out of control. She needs to go to juvie. She never subpoenaed them. She told me after the 3rd court date that she couldn't find the officer. And I said, what? You couldn't find the officer to subpoena him? So when I asked her to appeal it, she resigned on me. She withdrew representing me. So now we're on July 27th, we go for the last hearing, which is TPR, and that's what they want to do. And I've got all these. I have done FOIA requests. I have I don't know where it's at. Let's see if I have it right here. This is my file folder. I've got paperwork. I've got like thousands of pages in this of mistakes that they didn't know that I would be asking for those FOIA requests. So the contradicting statements and all of them, like, it doesn't add up. And I asked to show the judge and they wouldn't let me. They said if I spoke again, I would be arrested. And it's like I can't get anywhere. I don't know what to do. We've had no counseling, no parent family reunification, like they said, nothing, just nothing at all.
How
And
long has it been? You said 5 months. You said it's been 5 months since you've had contact with them.
yep,
They
You know what
February
they're doing.
19th.
You know what they're doing, right?
No, I don't.
They're gonna get you for abandonment. 6 months of no contact with your child gets you automatic abandonment of child.
But it's their fault.
It
I know.
doesn't
They
matter.
did it. Yeah, they did it to me too. That's what they did. 6 months of no contact with your child, and they'll get you for automatic abandonment and TPR.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yep.
But I have proof that it's their fault. You know?
We all do.
Well, if they TPR you, you'll have to contact us. There is one person that can get your rights overturned. And she's in Alaska. And if you're heading for a TPR, she won't do anything and just wait until the TPR is done, and then you'll have to send her all your paperwork.
That is so sick. Why do people do this?
It's about the money. The state's about to make $200,000 off each one of your children.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Were they living? They're living with your oldest. They're living with your daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's a foster.
Yeah. So she gets $4,000.
She's a foster parent now.
Yeah. So she gets $4,000. Yeah. Yep. So she gets all kinds of money. The state gets, well, like she said, upwards $200,000 to $1 million per child.
Are you kidding me? I'm in
All
Virginia.
about the money.
I'm in Virginia. And it's called
There you go.
incentive to separate.
Why? Do they
It's all
care
about the
why?
money. They don't care.
Oh, that makes my stomach turn, man.
What part of Virginia are you in?
Mhm.
Central Virginia. I'm near Charlottesville.
You're not that far from me. I live in Winchester.
I know where that is. Oh, that's beautiful country over there. Lucky you. I'm in the
But
Blue
let
Ridge
me
Mountains.
tell you, Virginia does a backdoor TPRs too, where they don't have to notify you when they TPR you. Oh yeah. Look up
What?
the Virginia statute on or code on TPR. They don't even have to notify you when they terminate your parental rights.
That
It's
is
called
so
a
sick.
backdoor adoption. Yeah.
Welcome to this world. It's terrible, isn't it? Isn't it terrible when you get the realization of what this is
In
really about?
Virginia, TPRs just as many parents as West Virginia. In Virginia,
So sick.
if you look at the J Lark report here for Virginia,
The what? Hold on, let me write that down. J-Lar?
J Lark, it's JLAR, I think. J Lark.
And
Mhm,
you
you're right.
guys were talking
Absolutely right,
about,
Mike.
or someone was talking about looking on the Treasury Direct website. Do you know how to do that?
No,
Oh, the Treasury Direct stuff.
Darren, Mike.
Yeah, that stuff's that's the straw man stuff. The numbers that you supposedly have attached to your Social Security number, your birth
Right. So
certificate, and all that
apparently
stuff.
I can type in my case number. And so what I want to look at it for is Rice Counseling, the counselor that they set up for us. She was nasty. She talked to me like a dog. She degraded me.
They're bought and paid for by CPS.
Yes. So I want to
Mhm.
look at who was paid what. And I
Oh,
want to
everybody
bring it
was
to my
paid.
county.
Everybody was paid.
But they didn't
Look,
do
what you can do is you
anything.
can ask.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
they were
Well,
paid to
it's
do
true.
counseling that they didn't do. They were paid to do visitation, monitored visitation that they didn't do.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jason is still our attorney general right now. You
Who is
need to
Jason?
call Jason Mares or whoever, our attorney general. You
Okay,
need to call the fraud department in his office.
There you go.
I'm writing this down. Um, attorney general.
Anyway, the J Lark report says in Virginia, when a child is removed from their home, in Virginia, the chances of that child going home is only 40%. 60% of children removed in Virginia are adopted out. Yes,
And we know that it's more
it
than
is
that.
more than that, but that's all they're reporting.
Yeah. Right.
These are people that have
In reality,
families themselves. I mean, how could they do this?
No, most of them do not have families.
yeah. When was the last time you saw a caseworker with a child?
And if you do know a caseworker with a child, you can best believe they say if you get somebody that comes in with a badge like mommy's, you don't talk to anybody.
Mhm. It's a sick system. You know, when I first happened to me, I thought I was the only one in the world that this happened to.
Well, until
That's what
I
I thought. I
found you
thought this was
guys
ridiculous.
and a few other people on TikTok like that, I thought, I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, what? But I've been fighting. I have been fighting.
Okay,
I shouldn't have
Keep
backed out
fighting.
of that
Keep
meeting
fighting.
today.
Gotta
I
fight
should have
for your
went.
life.
so listen. I need you to Google Patrick McGraw out of Roanoke.
Okay. McGraw.
McGraw, like Tim McGraw, but his
Okay.
name is Pat McGraw. You
Okay.
call him and you tell him Tiffany told you to call him. He's the only lawyer in Virginia that I trust, and he hates CPS. He's
Okay.
already taken 2 cases here in Winchester and maybe a third. And he travels.
I've tried to get a regular lawyer, but they cost so much and I don't have it.
Just call him. Worst case scenario, they TPR you. I get you in touch with well, go on Facebook and look up Spanny Brat.
Okay. Fanny?
Spanny, SPANNY
Okay.
BRATT.
Oh, TT. Okay.
Now, when you send her a friend's request, send her a message in Messenger and say, Tiffany told me to talk to you. Now, she
Okay.
will tell you that there's nothing she can do until your TPR hearing. She's already doing one
That's
here in Winchester.
that's July 27th, which is 2 weeks or whatever.
Chances are good. Listen, and listen to Tiff, and when she says this, if your lawyer didn't do anything for you, then they're not setting you up for an appeal. You're not going to be able to appeal anything because they'll have not. When you go to an appeal, you can only argue the law facts that took place, the things that happened to you in that case, and it doesn't sound like your lawyer is submitting any evidence. They're not submitting anything that they've done wrong, so there's going to be nothing to challenge.
Okay, so hold on. Let me
So
tell you
they're
this.
just
When she withdrew about a month ago at the last court hearing, she withdrew.
yeah.
I kept going to the window, the clerk window, and asking, I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer. So they got me a new one. He did take 2 hours and sit down, and he heard everything I had to say, and he looked at all of my evidence, and he said, this is interesting. Did they really do that? And I said, here, I have it in black and white. And he goes, black and white, what do you mean by that? And I said, on paper, let me show you. I said, everything that I'm telling you right now, best believe I'm not wasting my breath. I'm telling you because I have proof that it's on a report, there's something conflicting, and I have evidence of it. And he's like, okay, well, this is wrong. He said, I'm so sorry you were treated that way. He seems valid.
Well, make sure that you keep on his ass then, because he works for you. And if he seems valid, don't stop fighting. Keep on his ass. Be like, look, you need to get this stuff into evidence, because the number one thing that they do to you is they don't give you anything to appeal. That's the best way that they can beat you out of it. That's why you see so many appeals are denied and killed, because there's nothing to argue.
So explain that to me. If you appeal, what is it that you're appealing?
That's the question. What did your lawyer do for you? If they don't question anything that took place in the case and they don't submit that into evidence, then you have nothing to argue.
So being that
you have no legal findings or anything to go on.
Okay, so when are you saying my original lawyer would have had to done that?
Any lawyer that you have, but they don't put any evidence in the file. Like, you go look at your case file, see what's in your case file at the court.
How do I do that? I don't know what you mean. What do you
go to JD&R and say I want copies of my case.
Is that under the FOIA request? Same thing?
No. You listen, here in Virginia, nobody, not even a lawyer, unless you sign a waiver for a lawyer to go into JD&R and literally look at your case, you're the only one that can get in that case. So you have to go up there and show your ID, because I live in Virginia, I know, and tell them that you want copies of everything in your case file. But listen, you got to become friends with them, right? Like, I go to my local courthouse every time. I'm like, hey, it's the crazy lady again.
And yeah, no, I did.
Right? They don't charge me for anything because, I play around and joke around with them. So make them your friends.
I've learned that.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think why you got a new lawyer. A couple years ago, I was featured in an article on Cardinal News online to get these lawyers money so they would do their jobs. So now a regular case is $500 per case in Virginia, and now TPR lawyers get $1,250 per case. Oh yeah, yeah. So I think he might be a TPR lawyer, but I'm not sure. But if they won't let you get your case, you need to tell your lawyer to give you a waiver to sign so that you can let him go get your case.
Let me write that down. Oh my God. I didn't even know, because I went to the window several times and I've said, I'm confused. Like, these women, they're so tired of seeing me, but they're really nice to me. And I've been up there crying. I've been up there in tears, and they're like, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you advice, but this is what you need to do. And she's kind of like hinting at me without saying, but I didn't know that I could get my files from there.
Are you kidding
So
me?
is it like, what am I looking for? Like, so I know they give me the right thing. So I ask for my file or what?
Tell them you want photocopies of all the CPS stuff.
And that's something, can they do it that day?
Yeah, they'll copy it right from your file.
I wish I'd have done that today.
Because what you need to see is what they're gonna see. You're gonna be able to see what your lawyer has or has not been arguing for you. Like if you gave him all that stuff, that paperwork you're talking about, that should be in your file if you had a lawyer that was really fighting for you. Because if the judge doesn't see it, the judge can't rule on it. So if he doesn't know what's in that file, him or her isn't in that file, the judge will never hear what you have to say. So if that paper is, like you say, you have it in black and white, you have it in ink, you have this, that needs to be in that file so that judge can see what you're talking about. Because if it's not there, they can't rule on it.
If
Your lawyers most likely are putting that information in there.
Okay, I just met him last week, the new one last week. And so court is...
You're calling him every day. Your court is in 17 days. You should be calling his ass every day, asking him questions, asking him what he's doing, asking him if he did this. He works for you.
What should I be asking him if he's doing?
Ask him to stop the TPR because it's all fraud.
Yeah. Tell him that you need a visitation with your kid. Force him to make a visitation. That way they can stop this 6 months
Right,
thing.
right.
Like, there's all kinds of things you can ask.
So
tell him to work for you. Make him work for
you. What was I going to ask you? Oh my God.
I'll tell you, I'm going to put the email address up here, and then email me, and then we can email you some stuff that you can ask this guy, because we could be on this for another hour talking to you about this. But the email address
would help.
It's actually scrolling across the bottom right now.
Let me see. I think I need glasses.
CPSV. Yeah, I'll read it out to you too.
Yeah, read it to me because I can't see.
Or actually send it to the... Yeah, it's CPSV. So CPS victims, or CPSV, Hunting Justice.
CPSV?
V as in Victor.
Yeah, like Victor. V, yeah. Hunting Justice.
Okay.
At gmail.com. Make sure you send that tonight, and we'll send you a list of things that you need to ask that lawyer.
CPS. Wait a minute. CPS. V. Oh, that's a V. I don't even know what I wrote. Okay. Hunting Justice at Gmail. Okay.
Yep. You got it.
I appreciate it.
This is a dirty, dirty, dirty game. And they're all out. They're all out. You don't stand a chance. The second that CPS gets your kid, you have like a 12% chance of seeing your kids come home.
So
it seems like it should be easy. It should be like nothing.
Kids, they told them on the first court date that they were that if they stayed in the system until they turned 18, they would get them an apartment when they turned 18. They would give them $500 a month, and they would buy them a car.
There you go.
And none of that is going to happen because Trump just changed all the laws on all that stuff.
Yep. So
why would they tell that to an impressionable child?
Because they don't care. You're not understanding. It has nothing to do with you, your kids, how you feel. It's all about the money.
Right. They got a quota. The state has a budget that it's got. When was the last time you saw a deficit in the state budget? Since 1997. It doesn't happen anymore because they take kids to balance that budget.
Well, listen to this. So I started investigating this man, the director. He's from a town 2 counties over where there's a lot of drug and crime. And so I started investigating him from where he was at. And I found out that he was fired from the town over. I forgot the point I was just getting ready to tell you. So much. I have overload. I have information overload. I started investigating him. Anyway, if you look up Channel 8 WSET News, he is in trouble and he's under investigation right now because a young adult couple ended a 6-week-old baby's life because the mother was on meth from the hospital. There was an open case, but he sent the baby back home with them, and the baby didn't make it. And he's in trouble for that. And it's been on the news. But I threatened my county. I threatened them at the board meeting that I was going to go to the news about this because it was all corrupt. Well, when I went and talked to the sheriff, a week later, they went to the news so that I couldn't. So when I called the news channel, they were like, oh, no, we've already talked to the sheriff. We have a news thing coming out. So I'm thinking it's about my case. And when it comes on, just Google Brad Burdett, Nelson County DSS, and you'll see the news article. My sheriff reported, this is the only thing I'm thinking that's going to save this, is the sheriff in my county reported that they've never seen an agency and with the inability to do their job like CPS is doing. And they called him by name on, like, announced his name very loud and clear that it was him. And so that's the only thing I'm thinking it's going to save this is knowing that he's done something corrupt.
Listen, also Google for Virginia, the regional director for your area. Mine is in Warrington.
Regional director. Who, with DSS?
Yes.
Josie, hold on.
And
I gotta let my dog out.
it'll have an email address. Email
Okay.
them.
Regional director. And that's with DSS.
Yes. And Eric Reynolds didn't do anything. Doesn't surprise me, but he didn't say anything.
Eric Reynolds. Who's that?
The ombudsman.
Oh. So, okay, the ombudsman that let me see if I can find his name.
It's Eric Reynolds.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
It is him. I'm telling you. We're trying to get him the power to start firing social workers.
Oh no, she froze.
Know. Hold on, I think the baby's in my room.
It's a nice picture though.
Oh.
Yeah, people, this is what it's it. There you go. There you go.
So back. I thought that the ombudsman had the authority to do that because that's what Google says. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You know,
they're supposed to also be an unbiased. They're supposed to be an unbiased on their own person too, and that's not the case either. You know, like they're hanging those. They're right on the side of the caseworker.
Right.
I mean, then they're so overwhelmed anyway. You know, they're one person or two people taking complaints. I mean, look at how many complaints probably come through their office.
Yeah.
They don't have the manpower to do what they're supposed to do. You know, like it's a terrible thing. The ombudsman here do nothing. Absolutely zip zero zilch
for you. What state are you
Besides
in?
Take you down. I'm in Maine, and our ombudsman did nothing. Besides take our name down, maybe you wait 3 weeks to get in touch with them, and then another 3 weeks go by, and another 3 weeks go by, and still tell you that they're going to do nothing.
Wow.
So
did you try? Thing. Did they take your kids completely? Did you get them back?
Yep. Nope. No, we still fight. I mean, we have a couple things up our sleeve. That's what all of us are trying to figure out. There's got to be a way to stop this.
There's got to be.
That's what all of us are trying to do.
Well, just know that I am on a committee here in Virginia to reform them, and they know it. I'm very loud and proud about that. I've told everyone.
I love you're loud and proud. I love
She
it.
is that for sure.
You're a strong one. I
Mhm.
don't have that much in me. I'm trying though.
You need to. This is a fight. This is
It's
the
the
fight of your
fight of
life
my
right here.
life. It is. I just lost my
Yep.
job that I've had for. I work at a festival venue. It has been the most ecstatic experience of a lifetime. I love my job, and I lost my job 2 days ago because my
Yep.
boss said I can't deal with you leaving work constantly. I'm the supervisor. It's me and him, and until the showtime, it's me and him there. And he got rid of me because he can't. Like, I've had to leave and go talk to at board meetings. I've had to leave and go try to find lawyers. I'm not at work much.
Okay,
He
so
hired his.
listen. This is what this you need when we get off, go to cardinalnews.org, I think, or .com, and
Okay.
type in Tiffany Wise. My whole article will come up. And the first thing I said was, the system sets parents up to fail. That's exactly what it's doing. It's exactly
Yeah.
what it was meant to do.
Mhm.
Before it's all said and done, they're going to take everything from you. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
I was not good enough to raise my middle child. Okay, so they stripped me of my parental rights from her and adopted her out. But I was good enough to raise the oldest and the two younger ones in Virginia.
Wow. I'm so sorry.
My case is 35 years old.
Mhm.
Do you ever see your child?
I We're on Facebook together. When she comes here, I see her. But other than that, no, they ruined everything between her and her siblings, between me and her. They lied to her.
Yep. They're
Mhm.
lying to my. They're telling my kids the reason they're not home is because I'm not cooperating.
Let me tell you something. You don't have to comply with shit. When I got
Mhm.
out of prison, I told them, I'm not doing a fucking thing for you. You do not control my life. There's only one person that controls my life, and it's not you. It was my parole officer. I did what
Right.
he told me to do, right?
Right.
Not you. I'm not kissing your ass because you weren't in the bedroom with me. You weren't on that table when I was pushing these kids out of me. I'm not doing shit. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to learn after they terminated me. I made up my mind that it was not going to happen to another parent if I was around, because they violate everybody's rights, your daughter's rights,
It's
the fathers, whether
heartbreaking.
you're involved or not. They just strip you of everything.
Well, they
Yep.
contacted her
Yep.
dad. He just got out of prison and he's on meth. They contacted her dad, and I have that on proof too. She told them that she found out that I was keeping her dad from her whole life, and she found out that her dad wanted a relationship with her, but little did they know, we've already been around in that circle. I have protected her from her father. He is crazy. He has schizophrenia. He's not safe to be
They always
around.
go back to the abuser.
And now
The kids always go back to.
they're paying him. They're paying. So when I got the FOIA request, it had the information on who was getting paid, but it had every name blacked out. They forgot to black out his name. And it says he's receiving monies every month, just the same as her sisters are, the foster mom and everything. It shows his name, and it says Caitlin Price's dad. Well, I shouldn't have said her name, but anyway, it says her dad, I'm just
Yeah.
so sick. This
Mhm.
makes me
I'll blurt
sick.
that out.
Send Darren an
Yep.
email. He will send you all the questions you need to ask.
Wait a minute. You said Darren?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a
well,
minute. That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Okay.
That's me. Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
because we
I'm
got
so
it.
bad with
Oh, it's all
names.
right.
Let me write that down. How do you spell it? D-A? Or
DARREN.
did you tell me that already? No. D-A-R-R-E-N.
Send her my information because he is ready to go to bed. I know.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yeah,
know.
he sounds like it. Hey, I appreciate y'all so
Yeah.
much.
I'm coming,
Please
babe.
stay in touch. I will send you
Mm.
an email, okay?
That's fine.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be looking for
Say
it.
bye.
All
Say
right.
bye, everybody.
All
Say
right.
Bye,
bye.
buddy.
Bye,
Have a
buddy.
good
All
night.
right, guys. Thank you guys so much for
Oh, he's
coming here
cute.
with us. We had a great show. Yeah, he's a good little dude.
Thank you.
Good night, little man.
Go.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back the same time, same place tomorrow. Rochelle, reach out to us, and Angels are us too. Get us. We'll get on the show. We'll get you guys in here. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
I wander around my head feeling lost. It's been so long since I've seen you, I'm so depressed. I don't want to forget you, so I won't rest. This is my calling, this is God's test. I wonder why he chose this road for me. It's hard to think this is my destiny, but God, you the creator, you surely knows. So please explain the journey, let's go. You must have faith, that's all. God will not let you fall. For in the end there's a lesson, so keep the faith, keep on pressing. I think about you 100 times a day. It's no way to keep the pain away. I'm so scared of forgetting your smile, so I look at pictures of my child. It breaks my heart we lost her so young. We missed all the tender times, can't be redone. Please God, stop the pain, this is no fun. I know that God has the plan. I don't understand who I am. I do know I have the faith to pray to God from any place. Please God, make this pain end. It's a nightmare that should have never been. My faith in you is guiding my way. Excuse me, God, I have to say, give me back my baby, I'm not playing around. She's a piece of my life. I'll do anything for you now.
We stand as one. Our voices rise for every tear, for every cry. Change is near.